got to remember to buy more space. I'm running out of space in my online world. Yeah. Okay. So here, this was Dave's, and it's so cute. I don't know if you can see.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, you see this one?
yeah,
So
just a little bit.
he wrote it all out, and he colored it. I mean, he got creative. He, pulled out his pens, got real creative with it. And so a couple things we see here. So there's obviously we got these dollar signs in here. So there's money. Money is a part of what he's working on. And then he also has concern about, how is he being in his heart toward people and toward life, and keeping his P's and Q's together, so to speak, being humble, not egoistic or whatever. So what the first thing I would say about this statement is that I feel humbled and pray every day. It's a great statement, but it doesn't have a whole lot of flesh and blood on it, right? And we are living life in a body. So that would be the one thing I would say. Given what we're doing in this class, we want to have a result that is embedded in our statement. Our statement is about something manifesting that is tangible, like pictures on the wall, right? You see them, they're there, they're tangible. And why do we work with that? Because it teaches us certain things. Teaches it about our insides, but it also, because it shows up physically in the material world, you can see that it actually worked for you. So that's a way. He was asking, how do you know when it's working? First of all, let's get tangible. He did kind of get tangible here. So he involved the body part. I walk over to my mailbox. So he's got himself physically walking to the mailbox and get paid. So money, however that comes, check form, whatever, without delay. And so he was having an issue with the turnaround time. And this is me recommending, why don't you start seeing that turnaround time quicker? Just it happens. You do the job and you get your money, rather than you do your job and they wait 3 months to pay you, kind of thing. And so it is. So like both of these are fine, but to me, they don't form much of a picture for your subconscious mind. We don't really have, like with yours, it was kind of good because we could see you were in your writing revealing what was egging you on, right? And of course, you would have liked to have gotten it perfect in the first place, and we wouldn't have seen that stuff. But but that's not such a bad thing, as we go through, especially for a teaching, learning from. So I happen to know that Dave's got a lot of energy going on. It keeps him up at night. Things plague him. He'll wake up and he's spinning in his head about these very things, money issues. He's spoken about, and Dave, I'm talking to Louise about you, but I'm not talking directly to you. I'm talking about you to Louise, but when you listen to it, it's just that my head's going to keep doing that. You're not, I don't see your face. Well, we need to get to the beehive of those buzzing bees, egging him on. And so he's got habits of not de-energizing this. So he used to have a habit of meditating, but he's gotten away from it. And meditation can be a clearing process where all that stuff, like the stuff we're going to go after, that we're going to drain the energy from in you, Louise, the same is going on with Dave. And he needs to get a regular practice of draining that energy out, call it ground it out, whatever. But also the practice once again. So we talk, actually, all of us here, actually, everyone in the class is very thought oriented. We do a lot of living in our head. The person who lives in their body, Mike, he didn't come to class. One of us who live in our head, we all came to class. So kind of interesting. So, so, we need to get good at bringing things down into the body and getting that habit of what are the practices that make us get in touch with our body. And so that's what we do in our day class. That is what that one audio that just has you say hello to your body and you just get present with yourself. Louise, do you feel like you get more present with yourself when you do that?
Yes.
Yeah. So you know what I'm speaking of.
Yes.
So that kind of guidance is not about feeling, oh, I feel dreamy, really good, floaty away, I'm off in thought, I'm in my imagination. That's not what that is. First, you got to get present. First, you got to get present. It's not, here we're already sophisticated and going off into our imaginations, positive or negative. We got to turn that around, get present. Then we can do the go into your subconscious mind. So one thing Dave had mentioned to me was basically what it looked like he indicated to me when he was speaking to me, that when he would go inside, he would basically just shoot off into his imagination. And that capability, that talent, that is what he does all day long. This is what makes him so endearing. He'll go in and he'll start creating scripts and stories and funny things. He should have been a script writer for, the Dick Van Dyke Show or something. But so that channel to go into that create worlds kind of thing, he's got that down. It's the getting home to his body part that is sorely, missed. But you got a body, you're on earth, right? So that part needs to be practiced. Secondly, when you go in your subconscious, you want to you can go into different places and you want to get a bit of mastery over doing that. And so not everything is about going off into creating stuff. You want to just be able to get completely present, or you want to be able to focus on your heart and really, really get in touch with your heart and know intuit everything going on in a heart level, a heart chakra level there, without going off into your imagination, spinning, out and all over the place. So this is where some mastery needs to be developed, and that could only be developed through practice, and practice will bring you different fruits. You'll start to notice various things go on. Does any of this sound somewhat like elements of what you've experienced, Louise? One, we know that you can be more present by doing that practice that gets you present with your body. You said that works. How about connecting with your heart? How does that work for you? Is that something you feel like you're starting to do?
Yes, and I don't know how it works, but it works.
You don't have to. It's that subtle, okay, due north, shift left, go right. It's like, I'm going to focus on my heart. I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to let the rest of my insides figure out the rest of it. So there's parts you're not going to know. You're going to get the fruit of it because you know that's happened. You've indicated that to me by the story you told me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that would be something like for Dave. He wants to be able to master that. You got to get into a quiet body present with your body and then do that. Otherwise, you're tuning into all kinds of other things. Your body is like a gigantic antenna picking up stuff from all over the place. And, to kind of live in your body or give it the best, you got to be with it. You can't always be off creating worlds for other people neglecting your own and just kind of like, okay, I'll run back home and I'll do a little bit of work here. I got some money. Okay. And then I'm going to run over here and create another world for somebody else. That's kind of what he's seen his, how he uses his energy, or I pointed it out, Dave, right? And he's going, oh, that's very true. So this is us, learning about our energy, not to get it over involved in other people's lives, how to come back to ourselves, how to use. We learn about chakras. Now, you haven't learned a lot about that, Louise, but Dave's learned tons about chakras, or at least where they are and what their abilities are, but maybe never really investigating, if I'm just with my crown chakra, what goes on there? If I'm just with my brow chakra, what goes on there? Chakra teach me something. What can I learn, know, see, say, intuit about these different vortex centers that are literally minds about various kinds of information we use to operate in our daily life. So in a very, maybe a little bit abstract way, we are doing that in this manifestation course. We are starting with all this crown chakra stuff, and we're starting to bring it down into a vision, which more aptly would be your picture of the wall, Louise. Okay.
Mhm.
You're starting to see it in your head. That's why I said work with tangibles. And then you're bringing it down into the expression part. So we're having you literally write what's in your mind. And notice how that's not an easy flow, right? Because you're going through the dirty laundry hamper to get to that, get that out. So you're writing it out. The next thing you'd want to be doing, once you get it right, is to speak it. And you want to speak it from your certainty, to get all your cells resonating and your subconscious resonating at that new statement. That's how you're going to supplant it into your subconscious. So it's there to call upon, right? So it's there getting stronger and stronger. So the other ones that we're on, especially on your page, Louise, that we're going to drain the energy off of, don't take over. You can now have the stronger version being built. And so it's going to take some work to do that, right? The other one's super practiced, new one, not practiced, but there's much more certainty in that new one. Could you tell that when you read the new one, you were like solid in yourself reading it? That's how you know. That's my information. That's my current information. This is important now. You'll tell when the other one's outgrown. One, you probably have the wall done, and now you're going to move on to something new, and you're going to get more fluid with this whole manifestation thing. So it's the speaking, so that your subconscious begins to listen to you, your voice pattern as the boss. Right now, it's trained to listen to everyone else from birth. Okay, more wired that way. That is why you would say it back to yourself. Recording it and listening to yourself. Well, that's another way we take information in, right? Through our ears, right? We hear all the time. Somebody can be speaking to you, and you can discern that, wow, they're like speaking, smiling, and I know they're being phony as hell. Something's off here. And you can determine that, right? Have you ever seen that happen? You know what you know, And so that is the way you take information and you deduce things. So here you are, you're taking in this solid statement from your own being, aligned being, through your own voice pattern, recording it, listening into it, to go threaded into your subconscious. So it's a way of you beginning to listen to yourself, to be the author of what you want and need to be done. Why would that be important? So eventually, as you are walking your walk in life, and I have a good example of this, a story. So I go in and out of periods of a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation. So this one was a heavy time of meditation and prayer, I think. And I may have told you the story, I was driving with a friend, giving him a lot of things from my mom's house. And so what we did is we brought his trailer. So he had a trailer on his truck, and we had it loaded with all the things. Except my mom had to move out of her house and into a home. And we're driving, and the trailer comes off the hitch. Now we're in a kind of, we're not on a freeway, so it's not real dangerous, but it's a complete drag to have your trailer unhitched because it will start swaying and get you accident. So he's, God damn it. And he's like, pulls over, parks the car, and he's like, this is gonna take forever. I said, no, somebody's gonna stop immediately. The sound of a truck driving up on gravel and or dirt and putting on brakes, right? You hear the truck that pulled up to help us immediately, because I said it in my head. Nope, somebody's coming immediately. Jumped out. The two men grabbed it, put it on, tightened down the hitch. Off we went. Less than 2 minutes, I'm certain. So this is how you want to be a walking manifester when you have a need, because you're clear, you're a clear channel. You can state your need in the moment, and it comes into your use, that comes into your path. You have the use of it, it's on its way. And of course you do that all like very graciously. Thank you, divine, for doing that, supplying that. So you need to be a clear channel, to send out your messages and get your quick deliveries. Now I've had this happen to trailers. I've had that happen to me 2 times, once with that person and once with me alone with Claire, which was completely scary. But it all happened within seconds. I got help. Anyway, so that is like the walking manifester path. That's where we want to head. You want what you want to need done. You just want it to manifest. You don't want to have this like laboriously taking place, like the aggravation energy. You want to say, oh, I see this wanting to rise in me, gone. Go. I ground you. Get out. This is what I want and need now. It's here. Thank you. I use it. Goodbye. Ta-da. We walk on. That's the walk you want. That's the ideal walk, right? So I want to just mention here, and I'm getting a lot of things I'm talking about simply are because I want to use this to run through Otter to get the written script. This thing about believing that manifestation, when people hear the word, they immediately axe it out of their mind because they believe there's an element of magic in it, and they don't believe in magic. So they think it's just a hoax and completely phony. And so that right there, they prove manifestation. I don't believe. And so they completely get to not believe and manifest more disbelief. Can you follow that? What I'm saying? Yeah, it's amazing. If you want to doubt, you can prove your doubt. You're manifesting. But you're doing manifestation, proving a negative, you're going to succeed. So this is a lot of things, like people won't even touch manifestation. Also, people have done things like, I read a book on manifestation. I did the exercises. They didn't work for me. I'm not good at it. Well, right away, they haphazardly did it. They did it with their conscious mind. They did not take it internally, just really feed it into their insides, feeling, stay the course with it, because at first you have to stay the course. You're going to have garbage. Your dirty laundry is going to be flying like somebody's in there throwing it outside your hamper. It's going to fly into your life. you're going to have to learn to take seniority over that energy and learn how to clear it so you can walk the path toward your manifestation. Do the things necessary for it to come true, which is what you're doing, Louise, right? We made a list of what you need to do to make that manifestation come true.
Mhm.
So, could that happen in a whole nother way? Like, Linda comes over and says, "Hey, Weeze, I got this great stuff." Weeze looks at it. "That is exactly the things I want to hang on my walls." "Oh, let me put it up for you." Boom, 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 boom. It's done in a day. Can that happen? That could happen. That could happen. Like somebody can walk right into your dreams, your pictures, and make them come true. Yes, that's very possible. And that can be like a quick turnover. So it can happen at different rates. I personally think for you, Louise, you like the process of creating. You like the steps. Given just you doing your project, you love immersion things. You love to get into it, So you don't mind the something happening in time. You don't like the uncomfortable parts, but I think you don't mind the things happening in time, taking some time to happen. And you can work with that too. Maybe it's too long. Maybe there's too much icky energy rises. You can work on that. So this is just the different beliefs behind manifestation. Some people negate it completely because they don't really do it. Some of us, we do it slower just because of the way we are. As well, having manifestations come to you from any direction. Like you might be wanting to manifest something, and I was really good at this. Like I would want to have different, generally it would be environmental sort of things, something, and I'd like to be in the environment of certain things. One, I wanted to live in a Victorian. So I did more than once, live in a Victorian. Did I own the house? No. Did I rent a room in the house? Yes. David was my roommate. He was in the next room over. There were a bunch of rooms in this house. So this is how it manifested for me. I had a really nice room in a Victorian. I got to have that charm of the Victorian. I wanted to, and I've told this before, but my other story is like, I wanted to be in the environment. I loved French doors. This whole idea of all these little panes of glass, you could open these French doors. They look upon a garden. It's just, kind of wild and just feels lovely to be looking on it. My ex-husband got a house with an office that looked out exactly on that scene. And so I've done this repeatedly. I had a red car manifest. I'd watch a red car as I sat in the Victorian that I was in, looking out the window. I'd face the window to meditate. And there you'd hear this, and this little red car would come in and park in the back of the, it wasn't quite a Victorian that was next to us. It was an old house, park in the back. And then it would drive out, and because I faced the window in the downstairs when I meditated, I'd open my eyes and look at it. And I'd sit there like an hour or two. And so this was like a daily occurrence. Not that long after, I was given a red Miata to drive. So it was a used Miata, but a new used Miata. And I shared it with another person, but they didn't want to drive it hardly ever. So basically it was me and Claire driving this red Miata all the time. And so I have various stories where I had money pictures. So it wasn't me getting the money to buy the thing. It was me getting to use or have the thing in my life because somebody, I indirectly would mock it up, and another person that I had free reign to go and enjoy. So it was never a situation where, oh, they have it and I don't. I would get to enjoy it. But it was something that was in my consciousness and in desire nature. So this can happen. It's like an indirect sort of thing. So, yeah, that is one point I wanted to cover. So here with Dave. So Dave, what I would recommend is we need to put some flesh and blood on your work here. I feel humbled and pray every day. And so what you might want to do is like, are you praying for particular things? Are you praying for humility? What is it are you praying for? And I think the best way for you to work, Dave, is to actually sit and make a list of, get a piece of paper and make a list of, it's kind of a brain dump, inside journaling, what you want from prayer. Maybe you want more of a sense of feeling directly linked to God. Maybe you want some of the attributes of God or of heart. Sit down and really write them out and try to stop operating from your head, but just let a subconscious flow happen. And you might end up, and this is good for you, Louise, too, when you do that kind of writing, consider that your jets are going to be clogged. So you're not going to go right into it and have perfect statements flow out of you. You've got to clear your jets. And the way you clear them is by writing whatever comes to mind. Don't edit it. Don't censor it. Don't make it perfect English. If it's crap, 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 you write crap, crap, crap. You know, you just start the flow until you get into the flow of your energy and you're in that Zen mode of just spilling onto the page based on, you know, maybe you'll eventually get to the what am I praying for kind of thing. And so that might be one thing to really, if it's a prayer life, a rich prayer life that you want, you really need to investigate what the hell is prayer. With prayer, I know that it's always good to start from a state of peace and calm. Peace for sure. And that comes with, let's get in touch with our body. Get present, go into peace. Peace is a vibratory rate, you know, or it's kind of a calm, but it's more the peace. So you're investigating. In a sense, you're just pointing your mind, your due north becomes this attribute, this peace. And you're pointing your mind that way and you're opening your being, your heart up to it so you can get informed about it. The information begins to flow to you and start channeling that information. That's what I recommend if it's a rich prayer life that you're going for, Dave. Secondly, if you're wanting money to come into your life, you might want to write down what the hell you want the money for. And looking at the way you use your energy, Dave, is because you're very airy and you're a very thought-oriented person, very airy. Always often thought your body moves through space very quickly. That's another air. I would give yourself parameters. So you need to give your definitions to think. Definition. You need to define spaces with words and thought. So if it's money that you want, take a look at why you want the money. If it's to eliminate debt, speak that. I want to eliminate my such and such amount of debt by a certain amount of time, paying off a certain amount each month. That gives some bones, right? Structure to what you're doing. If that is your mock-up for this money to come in to pay off debt, you need to then watch your patterns. Money comes in and you're out having a party with it. That's incongruent to your mock-up. If you want that, put it in your mock-up. So you start to live from your obeying what you put into your internals, not what your habits are. To like, okay, I got some money, let's go play with this, you know, that kind of thing. So start to rein it in and really, you know, give definition to what you're going to do, and practice this. Practice doing opposite what you do, which in your case would be the air thing, moving through space fast, moving through mind fast, always in creation mode. That you've got done. You don't know how to rein in it and get it grounded. That's what you need to do. And ground it by giving it some tangibles in the world. So this is not enough of a definition here. This one action, walking to your mailbox and getting the pay, is part of it. What you are also working here with here, Dave, is that inside you, you have a habit of allowance, being a nice guy, and allowing and understanding why people can't pay you right away, and you keep making allowance. So the allowance is, I did my job, I want my pay right away. And then you'll go, but, and now you've opened up your energy to take in their reason of why they can't pay you right away. So now you've added into, I want to be paid right away, but I'm not going to be paid right away because of the way they run their energy. So I'm going to let that influence me, and I'm going to make allowance for that, which means I'm not going to get paid right away. So you're doing incongruent statements. So there's some work to be done on how you actually allow this to happen for yourself. You need to eliminate old patterns. You need to drain off energy from, getting, like you said, the words, I live on the edge. So you always live in a state of not knowing if you're going to meet your bills. But somehow it happens. So one thing you can trust is that it will happen. You know it will happen. The part in there of the unknowns, you've got to set some more rigorous requirements up that you just don't keep giving away. And so you're going to have to transition over. And when you transition, it's your energy that you're transitioning. It's not what comes out of your mouth. Like, before your energy has accepted it, you've written the statement, you've taken it in, you've said it so strong that it's stronger than your bad habits, you can't go talk to somebody about it because it's not real inside you. You're going to go back and do the same old thing you always do. You have to get that set in stone almost. I don't want to say set in stone, but you got to be very grounded and tangible how it has to be inside you, draining the stuff away, not running their talk, their scenarios, all their garbage through your head. Those are the habits now that are becoming bad habits. Big conversations about their integrity and this and that. None of that serves you well. It's like, all you need to know is you stick to your integrity. Don't need to talk about it. You see, oh, they don't act in their integrity, so you don't make an agreement with that person. You find the one with integrity that's going to live up to their word. And you shift that inside yourself ahead of time. I work with people with integrity. I'm going to be in my integrity now. I'm going to look and see, what does that feel like if another person's in their integrity? I'm going to align with that right now. And my statement is, I make agreements and work with people in integrity. I work for them. They pay me immediately. That is the way my business runs. And then you go speak out your mouth. So you got to set it inside yourself before you go explain all your new stuff to somebody and just give it away before it's sounding grounded. Anyway, I'm not going to go on any farther with this. This is directly for Dave. We need to do some work with Dave to get some real fleshed out pictures. These are like one-liners. I know you're a guy, but with all the talking that you can do, this should be at least a good statement like Louise has. You know, she's got like 6 or 7 lines of very tangible things that create the thing she's going to, it's very solidly or soundly created sound bites that she can take in. This is like a little sneeze. A sneeze going outward to the universe and not inward to you. So we want to work on this. Anyway, so I'm going to stop recording. Let's see. Did any of that help you, Louise?